welcome to my channel. I've never done a video before or a bus before, but I thought I'd give it a go. I sort of acquired a bus. I started pulling it apart and thought, hey, this would be a great idea, but you know, it wasn't really ideal. There were a few things about it I didn't like. It was an old Volvo, aluminium sidings and frame, which was good, but it was hard work to drive. So I thought, oh well, if I'm putting the effort in, I'll buy a different bus. I don't want to stay in campgrounds. I don't really like people, so I'm not a builder or tradesman or anything like that, so yeah, it's going to be sort of a little bit cobbled together. Here's the bus. It's an old tour coach. I think it's just a little bit under 12 meters. What I like about him is he's really tall. Like, they can go against me. I won't be able to get in a lot of spots, but it gives you another level of privacy. With the other bus that I had that I ripped apart, people can just walk past and look straight in. But with this, I mean, the windows are so high, no one ever looks up inside. They all just walk around, and so it just gives you another level of privacy. Obviously from inside you'll get better views and stuff as well. I was a little bit torn whether to go for the tag axle, so the third axle set. In New Zealand it means that we have another level of license, and it might intimidate a lot of people so the resale value might not be so easy to flick on when I want to sell it. I think loaded weight is 23.5, 24 tons, something like that. It's fairly heavy. One of the good things about a second axle set at the rear, it increases your departure angle, so your departure angle isn't so bad, and it also gives you another set of brakes. Brakes, I think, on a heavy vehicle are really important. When the brakes get too hot, they just stop working. We'll give you a little bit of a tour around. Here's the engine in the rear, so it's nice and quiet when you're driving. Nice big alternator here. It's 150 amp 24 volt, so it's about 3 kilowatt or so. The radiator was crooked in here, a little bit of a weep, so I took it into a radiator place. Cost me a fortune, like ridiculous amount to put a new core in it. The engine itself is about 22 litre V10. It's about 400 horsepower, which it's not a lot for, I guess, the size and weight of the vehicle. Here's another little view of the engine in there. This stuff here freaks me out. It means that this red silicon means that some monkey's been in there. But another cool thing is there's lots of space, like underfloor space, that you can hide things. So in here we've got, this is a heater, a radiator heater, the air conditioning condenser through here. But this space in here is massive. That's 700, I don't know, about 350, and it comes all the way along here. So even though I really want air conditioning, I'm probably going to rip that out and mount the condenser somewhere else. Another cool thing about these big buses is the lockers. So I've got sort of 2.5 lockers along here. They're massive. So you go all the way through to the other side. Now I can crouch in. Whoa! I can crouch in here sort of quite happily. This is about 1.2 meters high here. Most people would probably fill it up with tanks and things. I don't want to. I just want to leave it free. There's plenty of other places in the bus to hide tanks and things like that. Got a nice big fuel tank. It's about 600 litres, so that'll last me a long time. Okay, we'll come inside. As far as the bus goes, like, I'm not that familiar with driving a heavy vehicle, but it is pretty easy to drive. As soon as you get on the road, you lose the sort of perception or concept of its size. The engine's in the rear. The last bus I had, the engine was in the middle, and it was really noisy, vibraty, shaky. It was just hard work to drive. So this bus is smooth and quiet. All you can really hear is the wind through the wing mirrors. Nice and soft air suspension, and yeah, it just cruises. So the bus I paid about 12 grand for. It's done about 1 million kilometers. The previous bus I had done about 8 million kilometers, which is 200 times around the earth. So this guy has only done only about 20 times around the earth. Another thing I really like about coaches is they typically tend to have doors that seal properly. So if I shut this door and come over and look at how it seals and closes, it pulls in and then it wedges itself up, and we've got this nice airtight seal all the way around. City buses don't tend to have that. Thing I don't like about coaches is they tend to have these aisleways, which I really hate, and it's not nice for a... So this aisleway, it's about 100mm high, and you know, you don't really want that in the bus. They've got the step on either side. I can't really cut the step down because it is part of the cross member. If I stand on the step, I'm just on the roof, and yeah, so I'll have to build that step up to being the same height as the ledges either side. Yeah, I feel in it with this lack of headspace, I just feel like I want to hunch over all the time. It's not a nice feeling. I'll have to try and sort that out. There's the aircon units here. A bit noisy, really noisy actually, but I'll sort those out. They're really powerful. Being a coach, the windows don't open, so we're going to have to deal with that. It does have electric sunroofs that have been bastardized, and so you can see someone's like jammed bits of wood up in here, and this has all been sealed down, so they won't open anymore. It's got an emergency exit door over here, which I wouldn't like to see many old people jump out of. Yeah, I bought this bus on a site called Trade Me, which is a little bit like eBay. It's an auction site, and one of the questions on the site when the bus was listed was, do any windows leak? The owner of the bus said no windows leak. But since I bought it, I've noticed every single window leaks. So I've stripped the walls off. I'm trying to deal with it. Most of the rust is just surface rust at the minute, but there are a couple of spots where there've been a couple of little holes sneak through. So I'm going to have to fix those. This is how it was when I got it, just little baggage compartments up the top, and then air conditioning vents to the side. Anyway, I think that's me. This is my bus. See you next time.